Hello, and welcome to the Business and Hustle Podcast. Today, we have a special guest, Mr. Alex Billaut. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, almost. BR.
Billaut.
Yeah,
All right, we have Mr. Alex Billaut here. How you doing today?
I'm very good. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you
So,
for inviting me.
hey man, thank you for accepting my invite. Thank you very much. So, let's tell everybody what you do.
So I have kind of multiple, I would say, caps on my head. So I have a media buying agency. I'm managing Google Ads and Facebook Ads for our clients. They are in the e-commerce and in the lead gen. That's one thing we are doing with them. We are managing something like probably around 200K per across the board. The other thing that we're doing is that we have an e-com website where we are selling some product in the US that was successful product until not long time ago. And now we are also working on launching other e-com because I love e-com. That's so fun.
Let's talk about the agency work you were doing.
Sure.
And then we talk about the direction you're going in.
Yeah.
So, with the ad agency, how did that work?
So it's working well. Could work better. The situation right now I'm having is the same that many agencies are having, is that it's not a problem to find clients. It's more to be able to fulfill for the clients behind. So to have people that are going to be on board, that are going to work with us. I guess that like many businesses, we're struggling to be able to find people that have the knowledge of ads, whether it's on Google or on Facebook. I
Right.
don't even speak of having both of them at the same time. That's like super rare now. But the struggle is right now is to be able to find people. And when you find them, most of the time, there is also the time to adapt to your process, how it's working. So that's why agency is kind of complicated right now. I'm wondering about like, should I stay and keep having my agency? Should I focus on something else? I still have my customers right now, and I just love them. I mean, I don't have so much right now. I have like 5 or 7 of them,
Right.
but I just love them. They're just great. They have all a great story, and I want to be able to have them. So even if I just stop doing that and I focus on being a coach and helping people to get the knowledge on how to do media buying, how to do online advertising, I will definitely keep them and help them as much as I can for as long as they wish.
Okay, so you're moving more towards the information business,
Yeah.
information services, which would be coaching and consulting people on Google Ads specifically.
Google Ads for now, because that's really my strength. I've been doing Google Ads for 12 years now. It didn't move, it didn't change a lot for a long time. I must say that for the past year and so, it starts changing a lot. And there are a lot of changes that are coming. So Google definitely first. Facebook ads has changed a lot and is changing a lot. So that would be second. Probably not to the point that I would be able to help people to manage, like, like 5K or 30K, 10K a day, sorry, of advertising. But yeah, something around that.
Okay, so as a coach, so how would that work as a coach? If you was to coach me, I have a service and I need to get into have advertising.
So
What give me an idea of how would that look?
sure. As a coach, let's say I'm launching the online ads, there would be levels because there is no point for me to have one training program the same for everyone. There should be like a training program for people that don't have really the knowledge of online marketing, media buying, and things like that. Then there would be one that have the knowledge. I will not say the basic, but at least the knowledge. They know the in and out about that. And then there would be the third plan that would be kind of the scaling where they know that and they just want to be able to grow and to scale. And all these three are different strengths, different expertise that people need to have. And you usually don't go directly to the scale phase without having secured first the mastering and being sure that everything is working, you're delivering, and everything is going smooth, because the chances are that you're just going to burn or just explode if if you have not secured your business. Because this is mostly that. When you're trying to scale, you also need to think about securing your business.
Okay, so where do you find that people, where are they unsecure in their business?
So by secure, I'm mostly thinking about first process and systems. You don't manage a company when you're spending like 200 a day than when you're spending 5,000 a day, because it means that you have either more leads. If you have more leads, you need to contact more customers or more prospects. If you have an e-com, it means that you need to be able to fulfill more product. Do you have your logistic that is in place? Do you have your supply chain with the product that is in place? If you don't have all these things, suddenly you're going to have an increase in terms of traffic, orders, leads, and you will not be able to fulfill. And there is the risk that basically you will burn the budget you have, because you will have paid so much for things that you cannot exploit then.
Okay, so basically, when it comes to ads, an ad budget needs to be in place, and you need to increase systems at the same time as you're increasing ad spend.
Exactly. If you're spending, that's if you're spending more, you're going to have more coming from the ads. If you cannot fulfill, it won't match. It won't work. You're going just to get the credit card statement at the end of the month with the big bill, and you won't have the revenue that goes with that. So you need to be able to do that, and that's why most of the people, they are scaling, but they are scaling the way to be sure that they will be able to fulfill. And for that, they need to have systems, processes, and systems.
Is that hard to explain to entrepreneurs or business owners when they come to you about ads? You have to explain to them, like, okay, your success is going to be built on not only what I do, but what you do on your side at the same time. Is that hard to get across to a business?
No, that's not, I mean, that's not complicated to explain, and they hear that. But most entrepreneurs, I had the same thing, is that when you're in the business, when you're on your business on a daily basis, 24/7, you're thinking about that. And sometimes you just don't think ahead of time of saying, oh, I need to prepare for these things. I need to prepare for that thing. And then you're just chasing the fire. You're just trying to do all the things, and you are not in control because you don't have your process and you don't have your system. So they agree, they hear that, but what happens most of the time is that you're so taken by the business that you don't planify for that. You don't plan all these things, and that's one of the most common mistake I'm seeing from entrepreneur.
Okay. When you turn to the consulting and coaching version of that, is that how you're going to put it together to whereas it's not only are you coaching them how to improve their system, or you're just going to do your half, and how does that going to work?
I don't think I will go to how to improve the systems, because systems depends on any business. Some people, they will need like hire 10 people to do different things. Some others, they will need like a sales force to be able to do other things. So process and systems are unique to each business, but they need to have that. So what I can do is say, okay, you have milestones to do, and before going to the next milestones, we need to be sure that you have checked all the boxes. Okay, you have your offer. Did your offer has been validated? Had you enough data to validate the offer? How are you structured? What happens if tomorrow you're getting twice the volume you're getting today? Can you handle that? Yes. For how long? Because sometimes they say, yeah, I can handle that. Yeah, sure, they can handle that. 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, after 3 weeks, they cannot handle that anymore, because you always want to be able to handle that. When you're an entrepreneur, you're kind of a superhero, and you think that you can do that, but no, that process and system goes with delegation. And delegation most of the time is complicated because you need to have someone you're delegating to that you need to train. And it's frustrating because that person at the beginning, even though that's a great person that maybe has like 3 or 4 years of experience of what you need, you want that person to work the way you want her or him to work. And you're going to have frustration because he or she's not doing the way you want. Say, okay, let me do that. It will go faster. I will, but you're not helping them, her, and you're not helping yourself. So that's part of the things, process systems, but that goes with delegation. So we're going through milestones. Have you checked these things? offer process systems for ads that's creative? Do you have creatives, fulfillment, all these things?
Right.
If you have that, okay, we can go to the next step, because then we need to also on the ad level, we need to have sustainable ads. There is nothing worse than Facebook and scaling Facebook. That's like super inconsistent in terms of results.
Right.
One day you can be the king of the world. The other day you're just going to be a homeless guy just paying $2,000 of ads, and you're going to have one sale of $29. What's happening? I mean,
Why is that?
nothing. Yeah, I've changed nothing since yesterday. Why? Why?
Why is that? What happens with? I know it has a lot to do with the algorithms. And what causes that to one day you can be the king and one day you drop?
I would say that's the Mark Zuckerberg's mystery.
Oh, okay.
There is nothing new. But what we know is that with ads is based on AI. So there is an algorithm behind that is trying to find the audience that is going to buy from you. And the AI needs to be fed with the data that you're giving to them. So when you have your sales, when you have your leads or whatever it is, you need to be able to feed back the AI. And the more conversions you're giving to this AI, the better the AI would get at finding you new customers. Because if you have 5% buying from you, can you just say, yeah, I know what is the profile, I know how my ideal customers looks like? No, you can think, but you don't know, because you just have 5 customers. And if the 5 customers you have, one 70-year-old guy, one 16, one 45, I don't know what, that's not relevant enough. You need to have enough data. And for Facebook, an example, that's they are saying we want 50 conversions, and 50 conversions a week. That's a lot for many buildings.
Explain what that means. 50 conversions a week.
50 conversions. So when you're doing ads, you are trying to convert into a goal. The goal can be a lead. The goal can be a booking call. The goal can be a purchase. Someone is buying from you. So that's the conversion, because that's your end goal. And when you, Facebook and Google and all the AI, they want as many of these conversions, because they will know what is the profile of the person that did that action. So when they would get at least 50 people per week doing what you want, then the AI would be able to say, okay, now I start knowing who you're looking for, even though you're giving parameters, because with most of these systems, you're giving parameters. Say, okay, just I'm looking for female between 25 and 45. Just don't go for men. I'm not interested in men. Female. Okay. I want them to live in the top 50 zip code in the US, because I know that my product is kind of expensive. You have an average cost value of $150, meaning everyone buying from you, they're buying for like $150. So you're trying to target higher end of the population. And you say, okay, and maybe I want them to be interested with this brand and this brand and this brand. Say, okay, you're giving some parameters. But Facebook will then go try to find these people, and then will confront these parameters with what they see. And it's like some buckets. And when it's done, they will get some conversions. So Facebook will try different things among the parameters that you have set. And then if we say, oh, that's interesting, people that are living like in Beverly Hills, we have a higher conversion rate than people that are living like in the good, I would say the good, I'm not sure should say that, but the good area or neighborhood of Detroit. That's interesting. And even though, I mean, Detroit, there are some good places, some bad places, like every city in the US. And
that's actually where I grew up.
Yeah, you see. So they're looking for all this stuff, and all those things, they are called signals. It's a signal that you're sending to someone, and it's like a framework. After some point, they say, oh, okay, so I see that California is working, and maybe like he's saying that he wants 25, 45, but actually 28, 33, that's really a sweet spot. So I will show ads more there, and they will keep showing ads more to the audience that has higher chances of converting, so buying or whatever the action is. And then they will, on the side, they will test all the other parameters. So say, okay, sweet spot is 28 to 33 years old, but let's try the 25, 28, because he says that he's interested with this age range. And he will try this mix. So this is how it works. And Google, that's the same thing, except that the intent is completely different, because on Google, people, I mean, when you're going on Google, this is because you have an intent. You're looking for something. You're
Right.
looking for a product. You're looking for the answer of a question. You're looking for a service. That's why people are looking there. And chances that they will buy your service because you're providing the answer of a question, that you will buy your product because actually you're going to the beach next week and you need a swimsuit to be able to go there, chances are higher. So you also advertise the same thing with Google, because Google also is working. It's not just a matter of keywords. There is the keyword, but also it's when someone is making a research, because sometimes you start doing a research, but actually you're going to buy only in 2 weeks. And maybe you don't want to be displayed as early, or maybe you're not ready to pay as much than someone that is going to be to buy right now. So there are a lot of criterias. And basically, when everything is happening, there is what we call an auction. That's the same with Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, everyone.
Right.
There is an auction, and the auction will depend on who is your audience, where they live, what are they connecting with, a desktop, an iPhone, an Android, when it is, are they connected to a Wi-Fi or not, websites that they may have visited before that. So there are a lot of parameters that you
Right.
can configure yourself, and then you enter your bid. And even when you enter your bid, it's not like the price you're going to pay. I won't bother a lot, because we're starting very technical now.
Right.
But
Right.
basically, it's like you put a price depending on all these things, and then if there's someone is coming, the network is going to look, okay, who is going to be number one, number two, number three, and so on and so on. In terms of stability, what we were speaking about before, Google is very stable. That's what we are saying. Facebook is less, but Facebook tends to start being stable and consistent when you have the volume. If you have a small budget, that's complicated, just because they don't have enough information back from you. When you have a significant volume under the same campaign, same targeting, then it starts to be consistent and you start getting the same results over and over.
What would they consider a small budget? Are we talking like 10,000 or less? What kind of budget would it take? Or is it got a lot to do with the retargeting
So
factor?
yeah, retargeting is important, but retargeting, it's like 10% of your overall budget, because you're targeting people that have visited your website, and usually that's a small fraction because you need way more people to go to your website. In terms of budget, I would say it really depends business on business. You have some people that will pay $50 a day, and for them that's a lot, and I respect that. There are some other people, they are spending thousands of dollars per day. And like my personal record is $18,000 a day.
Okay. So that's how somebody what was the product that it was selling for, and that they had the $18,000 a day budget?
It was lead generation. For them, it was lead generation. So basically, they were just looking for leads. But I know that there are some e-com people, they are also spending 5, 10K, 15K a day. But they are already very successful. And there are a lot of, sometimes you might be willing to pay 20K a day, but just there is no audience to be able to pay that much, because you are on a very targeted specific niche. And maybe your audience is maybe 500,000 people, maybe 2 million people. So there is no meaning. I mean, you won't be able to pay as much. So that's it. It depends. Small budgets like $50 a day, $100 a day, 100 a day. I usually recommend people to do that by themselves, not to use an agency, because the cost of the agency is way too important for them to be profitable and to learn the basis.
So that's a question I want to know. Do you suggest people do it themselves or go to an agency? Or what point do you suggest they switch from themselves to an agency?
So usually when they start having, like, I would say $4,000 or $5,000 a month of ad spend, then yes, you can start considering going to an agency, because it means that you have usually enough data to be able to work on, sometimes from your visual. And the process of scaling is not the same as the process of starting. An agency knows how to scale and how to make you more money. And they will also tell you, like we were speaking before that about processes and systems. Usually you have a conversation with the client on how it is going and so on. And you can have the feeling that that's a good fit or not. And you also have the vision of what other clients are doing, and you know if it's a good idea or not. I would say that the thing I'm listening or I'm hearing the most from people, especially when they're starting, say, okay, yeah, I would like to do that, but I don't know how to do that.
Right.
And that's fair. And that's why I was speaking about doing the coaching, to be able to have them say, okay, I'm going to teach you like Facebook 101, how to do ads. Not like great ads, but at least so you don't burn your cash. You
Okay.
will learn the basic mistakes. Same
Right.
with Google. I will learn you the basic mistakes so you can do your campaign. Know how to read your KPI. KPI is for
Key
key.
performance indicators.
Yes. So looking at click-through rate, cost per mil, conversion rate, all these things, you need to have a look. And when you have all these things done and when you know how to do that, then yes, switch to an agency.
I think that's a great idea too, because my daughter, she was doing ad spend and she was burning through her money. But they had somebody told her they went into the coaching program, and they ended up telling her that she had it broadcast to everybody.
Yeah.
So you like you said, knowing how to go in there that the system to whereas you're not burning through cash, that is valuable. So I think that's a great idea.
And that's the
I
same
think
thing.
that's
When
a
you have
great
a
idea.
business, you know who your ideal customer is. If
Right,
you know that you're targeting, I know you're targeting some specific demographic that we're talking about, and you're
right,
going to a mall, or I mean, I don't know, you're targeting, you have a Victoria's Secret shop and you are going to a mall. You are not going to broadcast your ads. You're not going to spend ads on every newspaper that are around,
mhm,
because they are not all relevant. So you first need to start with, who is my ideal customers?
right.
And from there it's okay, where are they hacking out? Where can I have their intention and go on this place?
Okay. All right. I actually think that's a great business because I see a lot of people doing agencies that they say, hey, we'll do your ads, we can do and all that, but they never break it down like you just did to where I never knew it was a point. And it makes sense when you're spending about, I guess when you get about $1,000 a day, then it's time to talk to an agency.
Yeah,
But up
and
up
I would say,
until that point,
even
yeah,
before 1,000 a day. I mean, when you're starting having like 150 a day, yes, you can start talking to some agency. And the other thing is that when you have some knowledge, and that's part of why I would like to go this way, is that when you have the knowledge and you will talk with the agency, you will understand what they're speaking about. You will kind of speak the same language,
right,
even though that's not like they're expert, they know more, but at least they won't BS you completely. If they're saying, okay, yeah, you have to do everything because that was wrong, because that's what they say. No, 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 no. Hold on. I know for a fact that this thing is good, this thing is good. So don't BS me. And that's good. And on agency side, I just love when I have a customer that knows the basics and that I don't
right.
have to educate, because we go
Okay,
way faster then.
okay. What do I look for in an ad agency?
First, you look at where are they specialized in advertising. Are they just doing Facebook ads? And when I'm saying Facebook, I should say now Meta, because this is Facebook and Instagram. So are they just doing Facebook or Instagram? Some agencies are just specialized in that. Or are they doing just TikTok? Or
Mhm.
are they just Google Ads guys? Maybe the guy is just doing SEO and say, yeah, I do SEO and I can do Google Ads, but those are to different expertise. So you look at first, it's okay, where are they specialized doing ads? Then what type of clients do they have? Maybe they have, it's not, for me, it's not an issue that they have different kind of clients,
Right,
because it can open the mind, say, and have a look, trans line of business. Okay, this vertical is doing that could be interesting for you. So there are pros and cons. There's also very good things. If you are speaking with an agency that is specialized in your business, then they already know what are the best practices, what is working, what is not working, and sometimes it can increase the speed of the results. So those are the things. And then who will manage my ads? Because you can speak with someone that will sell the contract, but he won't do the ads. That's going to be someone else. So you just want to know, okay, is that a rookie? Is that someone that has like 1 or 2 years under the belt? Or is that someone that is very experienced? If that's a rookie, negotiate the price, because basically he's going to train on you. You're going to be the training. If that's someone with 1 or 2 years experience, that's already starts. He should be able to avoid like the basic mistakes, and you should be good. And usually more experience are going into the scaling phases or complex project.
Right. Okay. So that's the first thing you need to know going to the agency. You want to get, it's definitely best to have somebody with a more narrow focus. Should I get a boutique 1 or 2 man ad team? Is that better than somebody with a big office full of ad guys, on the top floor of the building?
Again, there is no one answer for everyone. The cool thing when it's a boutique is that usually they don't have a lot of clients, so you're kind of important for them, and I will try to manage you well. The bad thing is that if someone is sick, that's complicated to have your ads managed. If something happens, if they're taking holidays, the same thing. With larger agencies, what you are seeing is a churn in terms of people coming and leaving the company. That is more important. That's basically what we are seeing as agency with our rep. We have Google rep, we have Facebook rep, and like every quarter we have a new one. Sometimes when you're lucky, I had one for like 12 months, and most of them after 1 year, they're just leaving the company. Even though it's Google, they're just leaving Google, they go to do something else, and then you have someone else coming instead. And honestly, most of them, they are new in the business. So you have a Google rep, and you're almost teaching the guy or the gal how to do that. I say, and they have a pitch. They're trying to sell you new services or new feature from Google Ads, and say, no. I know it's not going to work, or okay, I will test, but just 20% of the budget. I will not go full in for this new feature that we don't know about.
Right. Okay. So I got my idea. I got my ads together. Maintenance. When you say maintenance, what do you mean by that? And how much time do I actually have to spend on doing ads? Is that like a whole nother job for me, or is it something I can do in a short amount of time? Tell me about that.
So the ads, it will depend on the budget you have. If you have, let's do simple. If you have $10 a day and you're spending $1 a click, it means that every day you're going to have 10 clicks. You know that when you have a conversion rate of 3% in your business, it means that you need to have at least 33 clicks to be able to get one sale. So at least 3 or 4 days. And this is just one sale. And with one sale, you cannot it's not relevant enough. You need to have more data to be able to be confident for that. So you have to wait. And that's one of the reasons that depending on the budget you have, it will take more or less time. If you have a very limited budget, 20, 30, then yes, you put the ad, and then you just monitor that you don't have any suspension, any something that is refused, but then you wait a week because you don't have enough data. That's it. The other thing, what you can do when you are smart is that, okay, if I don't have enough sales, I will monitor also other metrics. Okay, how many people are coming and leaving my website without visiting other pages, so the bounce rate. How many people are adding a product to the cart and not purchasing? Because those informations are going higher. When you know that a net to cart ratio, so for e-com, it's like 10%, it means that you should have at least one every day. Based on the budget, we said that it's $10 with $1 a click. So you have that like once a day. If you don't have, if after 3 days you're saying that you still don't have any, so you have 30 clicks, then yeah, you can start wondering, hey, maybe there is something wrong. And there is either something wrong with the ads, or there is something wrong with my offer or website. First you check the website. Okay, is everything working? This is something you should have done before starting the ads. But you're checking, say, okay, how everything. And if that's not that, say, okay, if something is not going great, so I will wait maybe like 2 more days. And if after 2 more days I still don't have any add to cart, then I will pause and try to say, okay, what went wrong? Was the targeting okay? Was the offer? And you try something else. That's basically a game of trial and error.
Okay. What is lookalike audience? When
So
they say get you a lookalike audience, what does that mean?
So lookalike audience is a Facebook term. It's that you have the seed audience. So the seed audience may be people that have bought your product or that have filled the form. If you are an accounting firm, you have people that are your clients. Let's say they are your clients. And you're sending to Facebook basically first name, last name, zip code, email address, phone number. And Facebook will analyze this data to be able to generate a profile. And from this profile, say, okay, with a 1% lookalike audience, I will create an audience that is as close to the profile of the people you've sent me the data from.
Okay. Even if it's a wide range of data, they can kind of narrow that down to specific people.
They can do that. It depends on the volume you have. If you're sending
Okay.
like 50 people as a seed audience, that's
Right.
going to be complicated. If it's like 5,000 people, that's more doable.
Okay.
And
So
even you, when you're doing that, you can analyze that and say, okay, we have a French, we are seeing different age, we can see different things. You can segment this data, saying, okay, I'm going to send you the data of people that are 25 to 35, and another one of 45 to 55, because you will advertise a lot, so it makes sense for you to have a good segmentation. But the idea is this one. I'm taking a profile or taking a lot of profiles. Facebook, please find me the same profiles of the same people and those one, because those one, they are working. They are my client.
and those are the lookalike because those are your people that already deal with you. You want me to find more people
Yep.
like the people I already have.
Yeah. And Google has the same feature. It's called a similar audience. and they're using that for YouTube ads. They're using that for Google Display. You can even use that for Google Search when they're creating this similar audience. That is like the lookalike. If someone is looking for a service that you have and that the profile is close to usually what you're doing, you can say to Google, okay, based on this bid, I want to increase my own bid by 30%, because you
Okay.
know that chances are higher.
Okay. If I'm beginning, okay, if I'm at the beginning, where do I start? Do I start with the analytics that I get from that I already awarded to me from Facebook, Google? What is that where I start? I start with my analytics I have.
Usually when you're starting,
Right.
you have very few data. So you start
Right.
with the avatar. Who is your avatar? So you're going to start saying,
Right.
okay, my avatar is John or Jane Doe. She or
Right.
he is 25, 45, lives in suburban area, or is, I don't know, living in the city, enjoy doing these things like that
Right.
thing, and so on. So this is your avatar, because you know that the product is for these people.
Right.
And then you will start doing ads based on that, and you will analyze slowly how it's working. And you will look, yes, to your dashboard on Google or Facebook ads.
Right.
And you will also go and have a look on.
Okay, that makes sense too. That makes sense. That's a good
It's
starting spot.
just the analytics is just something to control, but the data that you're looking at, have in mind that there is a truth in data, but there is no one data. There was a client, I have one client, I wanted to check a campaign like 3 weeks ago, because I have a doubt if I did not have novel reporting. So Facebook showing me results that were more than reality.
Okay.
And I looked at the purchase value, so how many purchases we had during the time frame, and also what was the revenue. I looked at that on Facebook. Then I looked on Shopify. I had a different result. And then I looked on Google Analytics, and I had again a different result.
Wow.
So everything is because the attribution is different. And because the journey of a customer is not as simple as I search, go to the website, take and leave. Most of the time is maybe I was not aware of you, so there is Facebook ads. I'm not aware of you. You just there is the hook of the ad, and then there is the intention. You turn the story, whatever. They go to your website. They get curious. Something happens, or they're not like interested right now. They leave. They are seeing the remarketing that is not on Facebook, might be on Instagram, or maybe you're
Right.
running something on YouTube, depending on what you're doing. Then they come back again, then they leave. And then finally, after 2 weeks, they go to Google because they're very interested and they look for your brand or they look again for something and they arrive and then they convert. So the key question is who generated the sale? Is that the Facebook at the beginning,
Right.
Instagram or YouTube in the middle, or Google at the end? and
Okay.
and there is no like, oh, the answer is no. It's a whole. You can create it, and that's why we have like part of purchase saying, okay, Facebook made 0.4 purchase. I say
Hmm.
that doesn't exist. There is no purchase. There is no 0.4 purchase. Say yeah, because the one purchase we had, we're giving credit 40% to Facebook, and we're giving 40% to Google, beginning and end, and 20% in the middle. If you're just looking what we call a last model attribution, so who made the sale at the last at the end, you're looking at Google, say, oh, Google is where I'm making all my money, all in on Google. Just to forget that Facebook found you the customer at the beginning. And if Facebook was not there, there would not be Google, at least not that much.
Okay. So are you saying it's better to stick with one system to do ads, either Facebook, either Google, either Pinterest, or whoever, or test multiple when you starting your ad journey?
When you're doing your avatar, you also should know where do they go, where do they hang out? Are they going
That's
on
more
Instagram?
avatar.
Are they
Right.
going on Google? Because sometimes it's complicated. The traffic on Google can be very limited and they won't be aware of what you are offering. So we're getting back again from the beginning. Who is my avatar? Where are they
Right.
going? What are they doing? And depending on that, it will give you already some insights where you should put your first ads. And then you analyze these ads. Don't go too strong, too fast. Just analyze these ads. If there is a strong demand on Google, yes, allocate part of the budget on Google. But other than that, go on Facebook and or Instagram and have a look at what's going on.
Because those are completely different. Each one of the social media sites and Google, they get a different type of person.
Yeah, they get a
Yeah,
different.
sure.
They get a different.
Right.
The main difference is that Google will target, and you will, especially if we are speaking about Google search and Google shopping, we will target people that are looking for something, so they are more active. Chances of a transaction or a lead are higher.
Right.
So if you have an e-com, yes, maybe go to Google and have your campaign there because this is where you will have your fastest results.
Right.
No, I know, like I have a friend that managed a client a year ago and they had the traffic coming mainly at the beginning from Pinterest ads. And
Right.
then he was doing the remarketing and he was converting, and it was Google display and Google search that was doing the remarketing. And they generated like, I think it was $1 million or $2 million like in 3 months
Hmm.
doing this thing, because they knew that people that are not going, even if it's a product, maybe very few people or not a lot will go to Google to look for that. But
Right.
there is a lot of people that have your profile. Maybe you're targeting parents because you have a product for them. They are not aware. And Facebook, you will be able to show that to them later on. Once they go to your website, if they don't buy immediately, they will be on the pixel or a tracker, and you will
Right.
be able to start the remarketing on different places.
Okay. All right.
Oh
The
yeah.
person who has the most amount of time in and data on their customer is going to win over somebody that's got twice his budget.
Yeah, because I mean, the end game when you're doing ads is that the one that is spending the more to acquire a customer wins. But you can win and be smart because you will say, okay, I want to acquire a customer, but there is a limit. if you know that you don't want to acquire the customer, the cost cannot be higher than $100.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to win the game. Say, no, I don't want to win at $200 or $300 a customer. It doesn't make sense for me. If I'm doing that for 1 month, in 1 month, I just close the company and thank you, goodbye. So with the data, you will be able to be smarter and bid on the audience that will be really interested into you and where you have higher chances on converting. Then you will increase your conversion rate. Because you will increase your conversion rate, then you can afford to pay more your clicks. Doesn't matter, because more people are buying your thing or are asking for a request, because you're targeting the right people.
Okay. Now, one last thing. I was on a coaching call today, a T2CCX, and she said that your ad spend for the month should be at least your offer amount. So if you have $1,000 offer, you should at least be spending $1,000 a month on your ads spend.
Yeah.
Is that a good?
Yeah, it makes sense. For me,
Right.
it makes sense, because if you have a $1,000 offer,
Mhm.
you're not going to convert that easily. You're going to have multiple touch points with a prospect. Except if, I don't know, even Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels,
Right.
he has a coaching program. He has different things. He has an audience, but even his audience is not going to buy like immediately any offer he's going to have at $1,000.
Right.
If it's like a book, yeah, of course, a book everyone is going to buy, and everyone is expecting the next book from Russell. But $1,000, no, you will have multiple touch points. And I don't recommend my clients say, okay, I would pay more. Say, yeah, but can you afford that? It's just,
Right.
it's like the Bitcoin is like an NFT. The budget you're putting into the company is something you would be okay if you waste it, because that's really, you're learning, you're paying for the data.
Right.
That's the thing, you're paying for that. So if someone say, oh, I'm going to pay $5,000 for the data, say, okay, if you have the money, good. If you really don't have, like, for you 5,000 more, 5,000 less, it's okay. But
Right.
if like many people, $5,000, it's a big deal, then you say, okay, let's try maybe a little bit slower than that, but not too slow.
Is that a strategy? Is that a good strategy? Go out there, throw about 5,000, 10,000 out there to get the data that you're really looking for, and then start from there. Is that a decent strategy or kind of a stretch?
If you have the money for that, and it's
Right.
not a problem. If it's Apple, they don't care for that. They can pay $100,000 for that. The same thing they are spending like for focus group or other things. When you're smaller, no, it's not a good strategy. You need to
Right.
be smarter than that.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us about where can people find you
Sure.
and
I mean, I don't post as much as I should. So what they can do is that there is my name like this. Oh, here, this is my name.
yeah.
So just write down the name, and you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. I will try to to share more about things that I like online advertising.
Okay. All right. And also, hopefully, you can come back to my group. You're an alumni now of
Sure.
the
If you
Hustle
have any
podcast.
question, guys, just shoot that in the group, and I will be happy to answer it.
Definitely appreciate that. I want to once again thank you for coming. This is my friend from the 2CCX ClickFunnels Coaching Program. And everybody, y'all have a good day. Come join me in the Business and Hustle Network Facebook group. We're doing some good stuff there. And everybody, y'all take care.
Thank you, Jamar. Thank you for having me today. It was really great. I really enjoyed the time.
And thank you. That was some good knowledge you gave us, man. Some good nuggets. I appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.
All right.